Hello, good evening. Welcome to yet another session. Good evening, Kamalnath. Can you hear me, Kamalnath? Good evening. So, welcome to yet another session of Ask Me Anything. These sessions, great, Kamalnath. Thank you. These sessions happen every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Indian Standard Time. Okay, and normally what I do is I talk on a topic for about 5 minutes or so, then it is open to questions. You can ask questions from the same topic or from any other topic, and I will try to answer those to the best of my ability. Okay, so we shall start today. Today is a continuation of what we did last week. It is a type of massage. So let us start. So ask me anything weekly sessions. Okay, so Udvarthanam in Ayurveda. Okay, what is Udvarthanam? Last time we did go through that. Now, it's a type of massage, okay? So, massage is basically called Abhyanga in Sanskrit, and the primary understanding when we say massage, it is generally when we say massage, people assume or conclude that it is going to be oil massage, okay? But Udvarthanam, the one we are going to talk right now, is with powder, okay? So, Udvarthanam is a massage with powder. That is something very different. We did touch about it last week. So let's go a little bit deep into that. Now, what are the types of massages? As far as the consistency goes, we have got something with oil, and that is called Abhyanga, and something with powder, that is called Udvartana. Okay, and when you look at the direction, when you do it along with the growth of your hairs, it's called anuloma, and when you go against the growth of your hair, it is called pratiloma. And when you look at pressure in oil massage, okay, it's called samvahanam and abhyangam. Now let us get into Udvarthanam. Okay, Udvarthanam is something. See, when anuloma, normally massages is done anuloma, downwards, while Udvartana is done pratiloma. It's done against the growth of the hair. That means it is going up. Okay, last week we did discuss that when you expect to get nourishment, we do it downwards. Okay, that suits the body, the person feels good, relaxed, and stuff like that, and that nourishes both the mind and the body. Okay, but Udvarthanam or something, if you go against the growth, it is slightly painful. It is not a very comfortable feeling, so you don't feel really good about it. So it is more denourishing than a normal massage. So Udvarthanam comes under the pratiloma or massaging it upwards. Okay. Now, benefits of Udvarthanam. Okay. Udvarthanam kaphaharam. Okay. Udvarthanam reduces kapha. So when a person comes to you with more of kapha, okay, and you saw in kaphagrasta, okay, when you look at last week what we discussed, Abhyanga has to be avoided for people with excessive kapha. Okay, Varjyo Abhyanga, avoid Abhyanga, kaphagrasta when you have got more of kapha. But when you have got more of kapha, you have to do Udvarthanam. Okay, Udvarthanam, kapha haram, it reduces kapha. That means, okay, it is denourishing. Udvarthanam, kapha haram, medasa pravilayanam. Medas is the fat. Pravilayanam is it basically. Pravilayanam is it helps it melt. That means you are breaking the fat. Okay, it can get reabsorbed, it can melt. So kapaharam, medasa pravilayanam. Sthirikarana manganam. Anga means the body. Body is basically made stronger by doing massage upwards, so that when you start losing fat, okay, you'll start noticing their body start getting tighter. Sthirikarana manganam. And the most important, Twak Prasadakaram Param. Param means the greatest side benefit you get out of Udvarthanam is Twak Prasadam. That means your skin starts glowing. So people who have got, patchy skin, or you have got slight scaly skin, or discoloration in the skin and stuff, you can take, you can do Udvarthanam, and it will help, your skin start glowing better. Okay, it's generally about Udvarthanam. Now, there are kinds of Udvarthanam. Sushruta has mentioned different kinds of Udvarthanam. That's something, it is called Utsadanam and Udgharshanam. Okay, Udvarthanam is basically Utsadanam and Udgharshanam. So we understand that Udvarthanam is powder massage. Then how can it be different in Utsadanam and Udgharshanam? Especially Utsadanam and Udgharshanam, the pressure difference is there. In Utsadanam, we don't apply too much of pressure, while Gharshanam is basically to rub really hard. Okay, in Udgharshanam, we use more power, but there is also a slight difference. Okay, Utsadanam is, snigdha. That means you take the powder, you mix it with some oil, okay, and then you make a paste of it and then you rub it. Okay, but sometimes in the clinic, instead of oil, we also use some kashaya. We mix it so that, it is slightly, it's a paste like thing. So basically for Utsadanam, we use a paste mixed with some liquid. What Sushruta says, snigdha, you can add an oil, but sometimes we don't add oil, we can add liquids also. But Udgharshanam is ruksha or dry. Here it is always dry. Here the pressure is higher. Utsadanam, you will not feel too much of difficulty, but when it is Udgharshana and when it is only powder, people with soft, sensitive skins will start feeling the reddish thing, they'll feel as if their skin is being peeled off, and that is because of the pressure that is being created. Here what happens is the fat starts really breaking down. So people come to us for weight loss. So along with the medicines, we ask them to do Udvarthanam. So people do Udvarthanam, might be for 7 days or 10 days sometimes, there with pressure we start breaking the fat. So when we do that, it's very important that the kind of food you eat, okay, the kind of activities you do. So it's not only about Udvarthanam you do, it's also going out there and being physically active, probably running, doing some exercises and stuff. And in your food, you see that you don't consume too much of fat, because fat in the sense oil and stuff, because you have already got fat medas here, and we are trying to break that. For the body's normal functioning, the body needs oil on a regular basis. You have to stop supplying from here, so that the body starts taking the fat which has already been fixed or deposited there. Okay, so that is a process in which you start losing weight and losing inches. So this is basically about Udvarthanam. You can start asking your questions. Okay. Yeah. Good evening, Kamalnath. Yeah. Okay. Niti. Good evening. Grabara. Good evening. Susan and Steve in Virginia. Namaste. Okay. Hem Vaidya. Namaste. So what is the suggested time in the morning? Okay. So what is the suggested time in the morning for Abhyanga? Earliest and latest time. So I would say it is all, don't do Abhyanga before the sun rises. Okay. As we say, and evening also, see that you finish your Abhyanga and your bath before the sun sets. So if the sunset is at 6 o'clock, so after you do Abhyanga, it's always good for you to wait for about 45 minutes. Your shower can take about 15 minutes or maybe half an hour. So I would say worst come worst, if you can finish your massage, evening massage by about 4 o'clock, it will be good. Morning you can do anytime after sunrise, because the oil which you apply on the body also has to get digested. Okay. So we believe that when the sun is up there, Agni is there. Agni is here also, and Agni is there in each and every cell. So you can start doing a massage after sunrise, and see that you don't do your massage, at least you stop it at least 2 hours before sunset. Okay, Kamalnath? Does Udvarthanam help formation of kapha in elderly people especially? No. Okay, Udvarthanam is, you saw that Udvarthanam kapha haram. Udvartanam reduces kapha, it removes kapha. So kapha is not formed for young people or for elderly people. Especially when you do Udvartanam for elderly people, you have to be slightly careful, because as they age, they have lost a lot of kapha, that means nourishment in the body, and they have come to the vata stage. So if you intend to do Udvartanam for elderly person, let it be specifically, don't do for the whole body. I would never recommend that. Okay, if suppose they have got a little bit of belly or something like that, you can do local Udvartanam. I would not recommend a full body Udvartanam, because that might bring down their kapha and their strength can go down. So Udvartanam will not increase kapha at all. The contrary, it reduces kapha. Yeah, Grabara. Any advice for a Vata type in treating rosacea that is worse with heat and sun? Okay, so understand it can sometimes be skin allergy too, right? So it is basically more of pitta. When you look at the skin becoming extremely red and reacting more to sun, so it is agni. So your main thing is to see that you don't indulge in food or activities that can increase the heat of the body, especially cut down on spicy, sour, salty foods. Three things. Not too much of deep fry. Plus, okay, I would say you should not stay up at night. Too much sleep early. Okay, it could be a big no to alcohol if you're consuming it on a regular basis, because anything that can increase the heat of the body can actually trigger it. Even anger. Okay, stress is one factor. Even though sun can trigger this whole thing, stress is definitely one major factor for skin becoming being sensitive to sun. So I want you to be aware about that also. So ghee is one thing which is very good. Probably mahatiktakam ghee works really well for such conditions. Having 1 teaspoon at bedtime, and see if you once you're able to digest that, you can start taking 1 teaspoon of mahatiktakam gridam in the morning also. So both that will actually is very good for the skin, and it will bring the pitta down. And see that once in 15 days you take something, maybe castor oil or avipatti churna, where you pass soft bowels and get that pitta out of your system. Okay, it is more of a pitta disease. So applying externally, yes, you can apply sandal paste and stuff like that to keep it cool. But anything that can increase pitta, both physically and mentally, can trigger this thing. Okay. For Udvartanam, what kind of powder is used, sir? For Udvartanam, you can use Triphala. Triphala powder is very good for Udvartanam. Okay. But generally speaking, the most widely used, what do you call, Udvartana Churna, something which I'm writing it down. Okay. It is called Kola Kulathadi Udvartana Churnam. Okay. Udvartana Churna. Okay. Sometimes, okay, let me put this in bracket, because sometimes this might not be in the label. So it can be Kola Kulathadi Churna. Okay, I've put it in the chat. Kola Kulathadi Churna is the most popular one that's being used in Kerala for what do you call Udvartana. Plain horse gram is very good. Okay, even what do you call moong. Okay, you powder it and you apply it is also good. Anything that can scrub, anything that can be used as a scrub, is very good for Udvartana. But if you want it to be slightly, you can use moong powder. You can add a little bit of triphala and make your own Udvartana powder. But as I said, the most popular one is Kola Kulathadi Churna. What is the best time you suggest to sleep? I would say, best time, if you ask me, the best time would be somewhere around 8 p.m. Okay, if you can get your sleep at 8 p.m., it will be really great. In the sense, if you have your dinner early, it might be of 6:30, you'll notice by about, if you're habituated it, about 8 o'clock or so, you'll start yawning a little bit. That is because the kapha has gone up and your food is slowly getting digested. You'll feel slightly sleepy. Okay. That is the right time for you to sleep. But practically, it's not possible. So I would say at least by 10 o'clock, see that you sleep and sleep really well for 8 hours. So generally speaking, when you say you have, people say you have to, for a healthy person, it is good to get up at Brahma Muhurta. So Brahma Muhurta is somewhere around 5 o'clock. So if you have to sleep peacefully for about 8 hours, you have to at least sleep by about 8:39, right? So let us backward from this. You're getting up at 6 is good enough. So 8 hours, I think 10 to 6 is fine. But ideal time, I would say you can go slightly earlier, maybe 8:39 would be better. Kids, 100% they have to go to bed at about 8:30. On the sagging skin on elderly person, do we need to do abhyanga in anuloma or pratiloma direction? Okay, that's a good question, Kamalnath. If the reason why the skin has sagged is because they have got extreme muscle and fat loss. Okay, the sagging of the skin happens later. Okay, the first thing that goes is the fat, and then only muscle. You start losing muscle. So, muscle tone. The moment you start losing muscle tone, the one that was, see, the skin already was there and it was filled with fat and muscle. So now you have got loss of muscle and loss of fat. That's the reason why the skin is sagging. So I would tell, how whatever age they are, it's always good. You can do, you don't have to do Udvartana. Udvartana will not work there. Okay. You can do Abhyanga, but that should be, as you said, in the Anuloma position, going down, make them comfortable. But still, you can ask them, might be a 1 kilo dumbbell or somewhere, they should slowly start doing it. They have got the muscle there, but they have not been using it. That's a reason for major muscle loss. Okay. But when you become very old, it is tough. So that's the reason why we say start doing exercises pretty early and keep on continuing doing that till you die. So your sagging of the muscles, your skin will be very less. It's because it's lost what it was stuffed in with, fat and muscle. Does the issue of UTI happen in ladies, especially after menopause? What are the main reasons it happens, and are there any precautions one can take? Nitty magic. See, I would not say that UTI can go up after menopause. I don't think there are very specific studies for that. But UTI generally goes up in women, okay, especially because major reason, I'm telling you, there could be other reasons. One major common reason is that they hold urine and they don't pass urine frequently, even when they want to pass. Okay, so there is accumulation of urine in the bladder always, especially when they're traveling and stuff. They feel it's not, they might not get a good restroom, so they don't want to pass urine. So for reduction in urine production, they drink less water, so the quantity of urine goes down. And when there is accumulation of urine, there is always a chance of some, because we have got bacteria and stuff everywhere. There is a very high chance of some organism growing in that urine, and when the urine becomes extremely concentrated, after that, when you pass urine, you feel the burning sensation. And then after that, you'll notice that the body wants to pass urine more because there is infection. So when people pass more urine when they're infected, because it's the body's natural tendency to throw that infection out. Okay. So very rarely, see, people have got this misconception that when they use public toilets, that they've got a very high chance of getting urinary tract infection. We don't say no, but very high chance is you assuming that you will get a urinary tract infection by using a public toilet and then holding your urine. What do you call, is the major causing factor, rather than, because the urinary tract infection is not something just because you use a public toilet, it will not fly and come to your urinary tract. It has to come through some water. So when you go to a public toilet, you carry your own water if you have to wash after passing urine, or if you feel safe, you can use a tissue paper and dry yourself up. Don't use probably the water over there to clean. Most of the thing are, it's from the water. So not from air, so just because you use that, it will not fly up and come. You have to be careful, but I would say holding urine is a major contributor. One second. Do Triphala and Musta have the same actions and effects? No, absolutely not. Okay, Musta. Let me talk about Musta. Okay, Musta, if you look at Charaka Samhita, okay, Agriya Aushadha, we mean to say, which I always tell about Agriya. Agriya means the pest. When you look at what I call lot of krimi like worms, they say Vidanga is the Agriya Aushadha. Vidanga is supposed to be the best for krimi. When you look at Rakta Pitta, when you've got bleeding diseases, Vasa is the best. Okay. Likewise, when they talk about Jwara or fever, okay, Musta, Parpata. Parpata is a grass. Musta and Parpata are supposed to be the Agriya Aushadha. So Musta is supposed to be an amazing herb for most kinds of fevers. Okay, so it has got a tendency. It is not something which will, Triphala is not something which has got that property. Okay, Triphala is a combination of three herbs, while Musta is a single thing. Okay, and Musta is a tuber, while Triphala, all the three are fruits. So they are entirely different. You understand that? So Triphala is in combination, and when you have got Haritike, Vibhitike, and Amalike, it's called Triphala. Then the what you call the ratio in which you mix. You can mix 1:1:1, 1:2:3, 1:2:2. Whatever proportion you want, whatever proportion you mix, it's still called Triphala. So depending upon the condition, you can change the proportion of Triphala and apply it. So Triphala has got more of a wide application, but actions and property wise, see, you might find similarities here and there, but I would say one is not the substitute of another. Okay. Cynthia, I think that is clear. Why jackfruits are sweet sometimes and sometimes little sour? What are the properties of different kinds of jackfruit? Jackfruit is generally sweet. It increases kapha. Okay, Tejo Shrimati. Jackfruit might be sour if, listen to this very carefully. Okay, jackfruit turns sour only when it starts getting putrefied. Otherwise, it is sweet. Sweet mango starts becoming sour after the ripened stage. So same thing happens with jackfruit also. Otherwise, jackfruit is supposed, the rasa is madhura, the vipaka is also madhura. Okay, it is shitavirya, it is gurukar, it bulks you up and it increases kapha really well. Okay, so different kinds of jackfruits, and normally you have got only one jackfruit, but now a lot of different kinds of jackfruits are coming. Vietnam jackfruit is coming, which starts giving you fruit within 2-3 years or 4 years, and it gives you, there are jackfruits which fruit throughout the year. Those are all hybrid and genetically modified one, but the traditional one which you get in countries like tropical countries, they normally what do you call fruit during the summer. They are extremely sweet, and once it starts raining, you'll notice that water seeps into jackfruit, and then it starts becoming, it doesn't taste that well after that. Gary, good morning. Dr. Been sick for 10 days. Oh my God. Weak, lots of congestion, phlegm, now getting stronger, but still congested with cough suggestions. Okay. So Gary, just try to look back and see what actually led to this. Was it food, or you getting exposed to something cold, or was it too much of dust, or what led to the congestion? Okay, because when you inhale a lot of dust and smoke also has got small particles. When it gets into the lungs, the body's automatic reaction is to see that this dust does not affect the body. So to trap the dust, the body secretes a lot of phlegm. Could be pollen also. So whatever could, even if you are you get exposed to too much of cold, when you get exposed to too much of cold, vata increases over there. So to manage that vata, a lot of phlegm gets released. Okay, so what is the reason is something which you have to find out. Any case, I would say the easiest thing for you to do is to apply, take a little bit of camphor, heat it with heat coconut oil and add a little bit of camphor onto it. Sesame oil also is fine. Apply it really well on your chest, okay, and then do a little bit of steam inhalation, and also do a little bit of steam inhalation on your face and stuff like that. Do salt water gargling, and go light on food, because if you take anything that bulks you, gives you too much of nourishment, there's a very high chance of kapha going up. So you can have thin soup with pepper and stuff like that. Keep yourself extremely warm, cover yourself even if you're not comfortable with the heat. That's okay. That heat will help the kapha melt and congestion come out. And slowly, it's not immediate. There's no point just because you are feeling weak. Don't take things which will probably, you think that it's going to increase your nourishment. We have to understand that when there is kapha there, when there's phlegm over there, the food which you consume for nourishment is not selective. It not only nourishes your tissues, it also nourishes the phlegm that is there. That will also increase. So give it time, go low, take rest. Slowly you'll improve, Gary. Okay, take care and speedy recovery. Do we take shower after Udvarthanam like after Abhyanga? Yes, you may take. But you see that normally Udvarthanam is not done on the face. You don't do rubbing on the face. But mild rubbing with Tripala, we always do. Okay, the what do you call, the chin and cheeks and all, mild rubbing we do. So after Udvartana, yes, you can take a shower. You can take a steam also sometimes if you feel like, but not regular, not very hot. You can take bath in hot water. You can, no problem at all. What is the difference between Ayurveda and Siddha? Vimal Kumar. I don't basically see too much of difference, because the terms and the medicines and all those things that have been used are basically the same. So it's like, how do I put it? It is the same science, probably, written in two different languages. Siddha is written completely in Sanskrit, while Ayurveda is completely written in, sorry, Siddha is completely written in Tamil, while Ayurveda is completely written in Sanskrit. Okay. If you look at the principle of Vata, Pitta, Kapha and all those things still are there in Siddha also. So, and the medicines which you use are also the same. So not much of a difference. But one thing you'll notice that a lot of metals and minerals are being used in Siddha. But you'll also notice that even in Ayurveda those are being used, but more of metals and minerals are being used in Siddha. In my opinion, both are very effective, evolved health branches, wellness branches, which will keep you healthy and which can also cure your diseases. I don't see too much of a difference. Next question, Teshma. I have noticed my Agni is good. I get awake early morning. Why is it? When your Agni is good, listen to this, okay? When your Agni is good, see, the misconception sometimes is that I have to wait till my food is completely digested before I go to bed. You'll never see that in any of the texts, okay? It says that the moment you have your food, after some time, once it's getting digested, you will feel sleepy, so go to bed. So when you go to bed, it's common sense that the food is not completely digested. Okay, food is still being digested, so you sleep. When you sleep, what happens is your metabolism slightly slows down. Okay, and whatever food is still there, that is being digested. So that kapha is still there, and kapha is the one that keeps you sleeping. So the moment you have your food, you wait for 3-4 hours, okay, and it's completely digested, and then when you go to bed, that means you have already reached the vata stage as far as digestion goes, and then you get up in the morning extremely hungry. That, in my opinion, is not a nice, it's not a good thing. So it's good for you to sleep when there is still little bit of food is there, balanced food is there to get digested. So that within the whole night, that food will get there. When you get up in the morning, You get up with energy, fresh. You can still go for a couple of hours before you really feel hungry to eat. Okay, so Agni is good, is fine, but make small changes in your lifestyle. Vimal Kumar Shanmuga Sundaram. I have recurrent allergic bronchitis every year, especially during August, September. Any Ayurvedic medicine that can help? Vimal Kumar, I don't wanna. Haridra Khandam is something which works wonders in these seasons. Okay, Haridra Khandam. But I don't want to tell you some medicine you use and say it does not work. There are other things also which probably a doctor will have to look into your condition. Okay, recurrent allergic bronchitis. There might be something else if it comes every year. There's something else that's contributing, and probably if it is something in the environment, or if it is some tree which probably is flowering, blooming, or in that season that might be causing that, or it is something else, that is something which has to be avoided. Just by taking medicines, one way it can help you. Your food, your lifestyle, your environment, and all those things also have to be looked into. So I would say, Shanmu, I think you are from Tamil Nadu, from your name. I might be right, I might be wrong. You go and consult a doctor, and he might be able to help you. Okay. Uh, Good evening. How to reduce vata and jet lag in kids on long flight? Any tips? I've already made a video on how to probably control jet lag. What happens in jet lag is your vata goes up. Okay, so anything. Okay, I travel once in 2 years to the US, to Europe. Europe, it happens once in a while, or other parts of the country or world also. But US is something, it's a long non-stop. If it's from Delhi, it's a non-stop 17-hour flight, change of time zones and stuff. So when I do the traveling, I normally consume about 25 ml to 30 ml of ghee, plain ghee, before I take the flight. And I don't avoid eating on the flight, because eating, it's not about the quality of food or all those stuff. The sheer process of eating food, putting food in your mouth, pacifies vata, and jet lag is because of vata. So then, and I don't switch on the television at all. There, I know that there are thousands of movies there. I try to close my eyes and lie down. Okay, and whenever mealtime, I eat whatever they give, and then I get down. Once I get down, I again consume about 20 ml to 30 ml of ghee, and drink one big glass of warm milk. Okay, and then after some time, I apply a little bit of oil on my body, and then take a warm water shower. I'm ready to go. Okay, so for kids, ghee might not be easy. Milk is something which you can give children. Once they are back, you give them a good shower. Okay, apply oil on the body and give them a good shower, because they sleeping on the flight is very important. Sleeping on the flight is something which you have to practice, so that your the effect of jet lag is not very high. I don't even switch on the television, so I don't have complaint if one of the channels don't work or the screen doesn't work. I relax. Okay. How does Ayurveda describe about food cravings even when not hungry? Is it bad gut bacteria? No, it is a habit sometimes. Many a times it's a habit. Or, there is some deficiency in your body which the body wants to take care of. And most of the time you'll notice that the deficiency is taken care when you cut down on amount of food. Okay. Mostly cravings happen after you are well fed. You'll notice that if you don't eat too much, you don't have the cravings. If you eat really well, the craving comes only after that. Sweet cravings especially comes after a full meal. Not so. I would say look into what you're eating. Go for a balanced food and eat moderately, so that your body tries to absorb everything from the system. Cravings happen when your body is not getting it. Like for example, you have noticed that diabetic people have got craving for sweet. Why? Because they are consuming carbs, the carbohydrates, whatever it is, the sugar, glucose, comes into the blood, and due to the absence of insulin or whatever may be the reason, that glucose is not getting into the muscles or into the organs or into the body at all. So when from the body's point of view, the muscle sends a signal that I am not getting glucose. I need glucose. So, but there is glucose in the blood. So what happens here? It just signals that I need glucose. You immediately feel like eating sweets because you are listening to what the signals which the organs and the muscle is sending you. Okay, but if you're somebody who does regular exercises and stuff like that, the muscle, the glucose have got a better capability to get into the tissues. Your sugar craving automatically go down. Okay, 99% craving is because the body is lacking that. Much like soaking almonds and walnuts overnight to improve digestion, should I also soak raisins and dried figs? If so, is the water used for soaking raisins safe to drink? See, soaking almonds and walnuts overnight to improve digestibility is questionable. Okay, uh, just because you soaking it makes it softer. Okay, Ayurveda, if from an Ayurvedic point of view, soaking something will not make it easily digestible. Cooking something will make it actually, when you have got Agni Samparka, that means when it is exposed to cooking, it will get lighter. So simply soaking, I am not very sure about it. Okay, I hope you are able to understand this. And over dependency on almonds and walnuts, think about it. Okay, and the water used for soaking raisins, yes, raisins is the, when you call raisin, it is draksha in Sanskrit, the black one with seeds. Okay, so that is normally given to, we very rarely or normally don't soak anything overnight. When you soak something overnight, we believe that there's the influence of moon on it and it becomes tamasic. Okay, so if you want raisins also, you get up in the morning, put the raisins, soak the raisins in milk and in water. And for children, what we do is we just squeeze it a little bit. Okay, and that water we definitely give children so that they pass soft bowels. Soaking overnight, theoretically not advisable. uh, Nitima, why do some people get Rakta Pitta, burning and pricking sensation? Any effective medication, if you can suggest, please? No, Rakta Pitta is basically you know you expelling blood. It could be through the nose, it could be through the mouth, it could be the ears, eyes, okay, or through the urine while passing urine, all while passing motions and all. So Rakta Pitta is generally bleeding disease. I don't know whether you meant that. Okay, so and yes, burning sensation in the body and all those things can happen because of Rakta Pitta. So what happens is Pitta, due to extreme aggravation, takes a form of Rakta blood and then it starts flowing out. So medication, which sense anything that can prevent the body from overheating is the best medicine here. And I would say application of oil regularly on the head, sleeping early, not overdoing exercises. A lot of people, when they overdo exercise, the heat of the body goes up, you know, and cutting down spicy, sour, and salty foods. All these three tastes have got Agni Mahabhuta. So anything that will not increase the heat of the body is a fantastic approach for Rakta Pitta. But when you look at the Agri Aushadha, okay, Vasa, Ada Toda Vasika is the best medicine for Rakta Pitta. And how you give it, it again depends upon your condition. You can give Vasa Swarasa, you can give Vasa Churna, you can give Vasa Avalaya, you can give Vasa Arishtam also. That is something which probably you have to consult a good physician and then come to a conclusion what to give. Okay. But the base of most of the medicines is definitely ghee. Okay. Kamalnath. For Vata aggravated person, does curd beneficial or drawbacks of curd? Out to the benefits? For extremely Vata aggravated person, curd is actually beneficial because it is Vata, it reduces Vata. But it is always in small quantities because the moment because for Vata, what happens in a Vata person, it's very tricky because he's got Vishamagni. in the sense his digestive process is sometimes unpredictable. Sometimes he will just digest like that, and sometimes he will not digest. So just because he has got more vata, and if you give him ghee, sorry, if you give him ghee also, if you give him curd or yogurt, thinking that that will pacify vata, but you have caught him on the wrong time when he is not when his agni is not very good. That will lead to adverse effect. So it's always good to understand how the agni is and then give that curd, and that too in mild quantities. Kamala, hope you're able to understand that. Yeah, Cynthia, most welcome. At night, how to urinate less? I'm 87 years old and in good health, but get up three times a night, urinate, and sometimes sleep gets disturbed. Uh, Grabber, one thing you can, Steve, if I remember the name, one thing you can concentrate on is to reduce the amount of water you drink after sunset. Most important. So the input goes down. One other thing which we tell people is that before you go to bed, when you're going to bed, I don't know whether you know rice flakes, it's called poha. Okay, Poha. You will get in any Indian store. Okay, poha. You can take 1 tablespoon of poha and put it in your mouth directly. No water, nothing. Put it in your mouth directly. Wait for some time. Slowly, it will take saliva from your mouth. It will slowly get softer, and then you can swallow that. So what happens? Advantage of poha is that poha is dry. It has got a tendency to get soaked. That means it will start sucking water from your system. Okay, it needs water to get digested. So it will take water from the body, so that the total amount of urine that is getting generated, a lot of urine that gets generated, this poha will absorb. Okay, so probably 3 times in the night will can immediately come down to two, or probably one and a half. That is a that is one way of doing it. Otherwise, if you take any medicine to stop urine, then you will have more issues in the morning. So this is a very simple grandma way of doing things. Taking rice flakes, poha, taking a little bit and putting in your mouth. Don't drink water. Drink water, it will take water from that itself. Put in your mouth, wait for some time. Saliva will come and make it softer. You can swallow it. Okay. Is long walking enough for healthy life, or other exercise should also be done? When you Teshamurti, long walking is good, but if you look at when you walk, okay, there are certain muscles which work. When you're walking every day, those are the only muscles that are exercised. That does not help you. Okay, that will probably cut down your calories. Thrice a week you can do your walking, jogging. That's why we tell people to walk backwards also, because when you're walking backwards, Teshamurti, there's a different set of muscles that start working, which has never ever worked in your life. Okay, so walking back is also important, but you also have to focus on strengthening each and every muscle in your body. Only walking will not help. Karthik, are jackfruit suitable for Vata Prakriti person? Yes. It is, but as I said before, Vata Prakriti person, the digestion is unpredictable. So you should be very, very, very careful for a Vata person. Yes, it will help. He'll feel better. He'll pass motions better. All those things are right. But it can also upset his tummy. So I can't say you can have 2 pieces, 3 pieces, 4 pieces. It is something which you understand your body and try to see how many. I would say 3 4 pieces would be good enough. If you're able to handle more, another couple of pieces. But this is something which you have to keep in mind, that there's always a chance that it can upset you also. Okay. Yes, song is good for weak agni. Definitely, yes. It will also help you release a little bit of gas also. Every time I stop taking Bruhat Triphala Churnam, even after a week, constipation comes back. For how long should I take the Bruhat Triphala Churnam? So one thing you have to probably, I'm not very sure. Uh, Jole, okay. Brihat Triphala Churnam, any powder, like we said about powder massage, any powder for that matter, even if you mix it with water or so, water goes in a different way, and the powder remains. All powders reduce kapha. Okay. So for a person who has got constipation due to excessive vata, initially your Haritaki powder and Triphala powder, Brihat Triphala powder might work, but after some time, what happens that powder itself will start, drying your system because it reduces kapha. So it might not be a good choice. I would say, Joel, you see how your gut is behaving. You've got a choice. You can also take Brihat Triphala Churnam with ghee. Okay, so that lubrication also gets into your system, and after a point of time, you can slowly cut down the amount of Brihat Triphala you are taking in the ghee, but don't cut down the ghee. And after a point of time, you'll notice that you'll start passing motions even without Brihat Triphala, only with the ghee. That means your gut has become lubricated. That's one way we do it. Okay. Or otherwise, if there are other issues, I would say we can look into that also. Why do we need to walk after having meal? All animals rest after eating. Nobody has asked us to do exercise after meals. Walking, they say, what do you call? Midam bhuktva shatam japtva gata shatapadam. Walk 100 steps. The sense you just take a stroll so that it'll settle a little bit. And one thing, the problem with humans is humans don't eat generally half a tummy. Okay. Animals, they don't overeat. And you notice that animals usually don't eat every day or don't take 2 to 3 meals every day. They probably once they eat, they might not eat for 4 days, 5 days, they might eat only once in a week. When they eat really well and they rest for it to get digested. Okay. So I don't want you to go for a walk as an exercise after food. Just take a stroll so that it settles a little bit. Exercise is prohibited after food. As our body is primarily carb based, uh, then why sometimes Ayurveda says to consume only ghee? Ayurveda does not tell you to consume only ghee. Ayurveda always asks you to have a balanced food. And I don't know how our body is primarily carb based. I don't know what that means, but Ayurveda does not mention you to have only fat. No. As a part of treatment, yes, we'll tell them to stop something, have something, that's different. But on a general basis, on a regular basis, no, we don't tell people to have only ghee. What are the visible signs of one's body which ensures good absorption? Last session, you said good digestion doesn't always mean good absorption. See, just because your food is getting digested, if you look at absorption and assimilation is also part of digestion. Okay, if I said good absorption, then I'm sorry, I want to correct this. Just because your food is getting digested, the feeling, that you're getting hungry, you're passing motions and all those stuff, uh, that is one part of digestion, but that doesn't mean it is good digestion. Just because your food is getting digested doesn't mean that it's getting absorbed. Okay, that's what I really meant to see. But what happens is, if you feel, shuddhodgaram, okay, laghavata, that means you feel light. And when you probably get that burp, when you get that burp after food, after some time, hour and a half or 2 hours, if you don't get the taste of food, many a times, many people complain that, they get up in the morning, when they burp, they feel, oh, I get the taste of the paneer butter masala which I had at night. That means food is not digested. He gets up, he drinks a little bit of water, he goes, he pass stools. So he thinks, I'm digesting well. So that is not a good sign of digestion. The most important thing is that you feel light, okay, and you feel hungry. And when you burp, you don't get the taste of food. Major three signs that, and passing motions, and once you check the stools you have passed, if it floats, that is another way you feel that we make out that food is actually digest it well. But people who don't digest really well, you'll notice that the stools actually sink in water. That means they still has got kapha in it. Okay, we have to come to an end of the session. All the saptadhas are getting nourished or not? I guess that is what good absorption would mean, right, doctor? Yes, all the saptadhadus have to get nourished. Okay, so that is what we mean by rasayana. Rasa is nourishment, the essence of nourishment. Okay, ayana is travel. So if the rasa travels from rasa rakta mamsa meda asti majja shukra, that is the proper rasayana. That means yes, getting that. So all the saptadhadus getting nourished really well is an amazing ideal situation. Okay, but that takes real effort, and it is not a one time effort, it is a continuous effort to stay there. So that's very important. So it is not a 1 day program or a 5 day program or a 1 week program where you go, you say, I went to this program, 14-day program, my gut reset, and after that my life changed. Yes, but how much are you doing to maintain it? That is the key there. Okay, it is, I don't say it is very easy, but I don't say it is difficult also. So you have to do your own homework. My mom always keeps saying that I'm thin, eat more, but matter how do make her understand? Make her understand that each and every person is made differently, and your health stays. You are healthy when you are thin. Okay, if you keep on putting on weight, that is more kapha added into your vata prakriti, that will make you fall sick later. Okay, just make her understand that. Thank you, Surya. It's my responsibility, His grace, what my acharyas and ancestors have taught me. Thank you. Does Ayurveda text say to eat 50% and 25%? Should the water be warm? Better. Yes, Ayurveda says eat 50% and remaining 25% for water and the remaining 25% for air, space. Yes, the water should be warm. Some people prefer slightly hot also. That's also fine. No problem. My highest regards to you, sir. Occasions of Guru Purnima. Guru, sir, thank you very much. Yes, Guru Purnima. Okay. Thanks a lot. Okay, it's all His grace. Okay, are we coming to an end? I am water. Sometimes I eat 20 jackfruits in one sitting. I don't feel full. That's a time probably where your Agni might be slightly on the higher side. There might be days where then you are not 100% vata, predominantly vata. You will have a lot of pitta also associated. That's the reason why you're able to digest so much. Yes, thank you. When I eat food in restaurants, why I feel the taste and smell, that's it. It's not getting digested properly, Tejashri Murthy. That's the reason why you get that taste. Okay, we can blame the ingredients, the way they cook, and all those things are fine, but it also adds to your digestive capacity. Yes, thank you. Based on what you said, I can say that I have good absorption. Thanks, doctor. Yeah, great, Priya, very good. Do you suggest any good Ayurvedic retreat to reset the body? Ayurvedic retreat. I like that word. I would say you should be looking into probably a good Ayurvedic center. Okay, predominantly serious, authentic Ayurvedic center. Sometimes when you mean by retreat, people get confused with resorts where they do Ayurvedic massages and stuff like that. But how authentic are they is something which you have to look into. Okay, that's all I would say. I don't want to say, okay, I can say the hospital which we have got is good, but there are so many hospitals which actually do very good job, and you should contact them and get things done. Okay. Yes, Kamalnath, thank you very much. Good night and see you next week with another topic. Okay. Bye bye. Good night.